Hi, this is John Knight, your host.
In commemoration of the 58th founding anniversary of Trinity University of Asia, we bring you
The 2021 Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia Search for the Peace Education Ambassadors. 16 candidates, 2 crowns. Who will it be this year's winners? So just sit back and relax, support and cheer for your candidates. This is 2021 Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia Search for Peace Ambassadors.
Let us pray. Our source of light and life, in whose image we are made, in whose love we are redeemed from sin and death, and under whose guidance we find selflessness, true joy, peace, and abundance. Be present with everyone, we pray, especially with our panelists, MC, and technical people, as part of our celebration of your 58 years of faithfulness upon our university. May you be pleased to continue showering your blessing and making worthy your servants and people who humbly acknowledge you in all that they do, all that they are, and all that they hope to be. For truly, whether silver or golden or diamond years celebration, we live and move and have our being in you and in your time and purpose alone. All glory to you, O blessed Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, in whose being our university is named, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
Hail, beloved Trinity, may all thy fathers stay high. You're the primary hope so dear, to thee we pledge our loyalty. Beloved Alma Master, come beyond this glory clear. May our lives be washed like day. Hail, beloved Trinity, behold my chorus play high. You are the pride we hold so dear, to thee we pledge our loyalty. Beloved Alma Mater, come behold this glory here. May our lives and our strife
Good evening once again. This program is made possible by the University Student Council and the Student Affairs Center together with the Media and Communication Department. Later on, we will be joined by the 2020 Mr. Trinity University of Asia, George Allen Peters from the College of Engineering and Information Sciences, and the 2020 Miss Trinity University of Asia from the Senior High School, Abigail Tan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Peace Ambassadors in their production number.
Manage my anger and frustration by reflecting on what makes me angry or what frustrates me. I think when people frustrate me, I like to understand where they come, where does this frustration like lie in for me, and why do they do the things that they do? So I have to make sure to be sensitive to the things that they do so that I don't get frustrated.
Knowing yourself is so important to helping others, because when you know yourself, you get to recognize you are valued, you are treasured, and peace is free. Peace is a natural resource, it's innate, and it's within all of us. We are all living proof that we don't need to go outside of the house to find peace. We all cultivated it, we all researched it, and we know what we need. So by knowing what we need, we can help others by letting them feel the light that we've been given.
Para po sa akin, pananaw ko or paningin ko po sa mga official na sa akin, pinapanigan ko rin po kasi yung mga ibang official po sa mga tao. Opinion po nila sa isang particular na topic. Kasi po, may insan po is parehas po kami lang naisip po na opposition or opinion ako sa isang topic po. Yun lang po.
I think that mental health is important in every peace project, because we must start from within ourselves. We must create and channel peace from within ourselves. Therefore, it's important because we can channel peace within ourselves by having a peace of mind. And we can have peace of mind if we learn how to control our thoughts and emotions.
I believe peace in itself is quite a daunting word. See, peace is a 5-letter word that reverberates through the ears of many, yet only resounds in the hearts of few. Like the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But the fact that we provide the horse with the water, it will give the horse the opportunity to replenish itself if it so desires. I believe that metaphor can parallel to our lives in that we can give ourselves peace and give others peace, but it is truly up to ourselves and also the others if we are going to accept it, as well as society itself. We can present the peace, but it is only going to be achieved if we are prepared.
Well, I think there are a lot of distance from the people of our country, which leads to misunderstanding, and it became a hindrance for peace. And I believe that we all need humanity in order to form peace within ourselves, and it comes first with the discipline.
Considering of what we've been through this past years, for me being a Filipino, it's not just about how the national people know about Philippines, and resilience is same. It requires a long road to attain, but once it is attained, peace will come out unknowingly. And for inner peace in ourselves, we start and create a great initiative in order for us to attain that peace that we always dream of.
Instead of ending wars, we must work on ending the beginning of wars. And we can end the beginning of wars by starting with ourselves, by starting with peace within ourselves. Because if we if we if we broaden our understanding in all aspects of life, we will be able to understand everyone, and that is when we can prevent the we can prevent the start of every conflict.
I believe that by empowering youth, we can achieve peace. But empowerment is not the first step. The real first step here in attaining peace is peace education, because we need an inclusive education. For example, in history, we need to correct or to revise the history learning materials. We need to present an inclusive history lesson. And aside from that, we should have a collectible Filipino identity, not just the selective ones. Because as of the moment, we have 5% of the Muslim population here in the Philippines, and at the same time, 10 to 20% indigenous people. So we need to highlight that. And by empowering the children, we can give them the opportunity to think, to think greater conservation, and to be an instrument of peace, and be the voice to the unheard ones.
Well, I joined this pageant, Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia, because for me, this is a very for me to advocate about my advocacy, which is peace education, which is also the purpose of this pageant. So, for me, I'm here to promote peace education not only to the youth, and I also focus on the people of Mindanao because they are often stereotyped and neglected just because of religion and awful misconceptions.
I will show my love to the country by showing, respecting, of course, yourself. Is gaming defining of your worth and value as a human being. If you are not respecting yourself, it thinks that you are not ready to respect others. Because if you love yourself from yourself, it will become out and will respecting to others also.
To some extent, yes, but then also it's not just war that makes the world not peaceful. And then peace starts from within. So even if there's no war going on around the world, if there's no peace within the household, within the school ground, then we cannot blame the war because there isn't war in the first place. So I do not believe that just because there's no war, there is peace. Peace can start even when there isn't war.
The type of education that we need to learn about peace is knowing what the problems are within this country. Because with the equipped knowledge that we have, we will be able to see the solution in a far and more clearer way.
My idea for safe community is kapag nafe-feel na po natin na secure tayo and meron tayong peaceful mind and kampante tayo sa mga taong nakakasama natin, at komportable tayo sa ginagalawan natin dahil ngayon tayo dahil panahon ng pandemic, hindi natin alam paano gumalaw or kumilos dahil di natin nakikita yung kalaban natin.
I believe in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that we must prioritize meeting people's basic needs first before we teach them anything. It's much easier to absorb information when you're not starving. And once we have addressed their basic needs, that's when we can start teaching them how to live in harmony with oneself, with others, and with the natural environment.
But I learned to speak up because it is our duty to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to protect the rights of everyone. On lesbians, gay, bisexual, transgender, or intersex people. To those belonging LGBTQ community, let me say, you are not alone. I stand with you. A historic shift is underway. We must tackle violence, consensual same-sex relationship, and discrimination, and educate the public.
Peace is not just a word, but a goal with the broadest meaning. It encompasses almost all aspects of our lives, society, and status. It could even be referred to external and internal peace. That's how it brings so much impact to us. And it's even one of the UNDP's Sustainable Development Goals. Goal 16 promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions to all levels. The UNDP further note that in verbatim, we cannot hope for sustainable development without peace, stability, human rights, and effective governance based on the rule of law. Yet our world is increasingly divided. Some regions enjoy peace, security, and prosperity, while others fall into seemingly endless cycle of conflict and violence. This is not inevitable and must be addressed. On that note, I would like to make you realize that just as how achieving peace becomes one of the greatest factors to attain sustainable development, peace in its broadest sense is one being the hardest to achieve due to many reasons which are unworthy for us to be divided, encounter different life and land conflicts, much more the persistent discrimination in our society, which I myself have witnessed and experienced all throughout my years being a member of the minority, the indigenous people specifically. Speaking from my experiences and experiences of my fellow IP, I could say that nothing is worthy to steal and destroy the peace that we should all be enjoying, both internal and external aspects. From the community to the national and even worldwide, nothing it will be worthy to divide us regardless of our race, belief, culture, and traditions, status, and a lot more differences we could cite on. We are all one in spirit and in goal. Thus, we should be one in achieving a harmonious, peaceful, and developed country. Life may give us challenges, which would lead to our division, but we got a lot more inspirations, opportunities, and ways to become ambassadors of peace. Today, I would like you to all realize and encourage, especially our youth, the students at the Trinity University of Asia, my beloved alma mater, that each one of us got something to contribute to this world thirsty for peace. We are ambassadors of peace. Let your heart for humanity and community unveil that privilege. Let yourself be the source of peace because you are a peace education ambassador molded by the Trinity University of Asia. Thank you very much. Good morning and dakan salamat kanilangon.
Tonight, our academic competition of beauty and advocacy will call for the search for peace education ambassadors. The search for the 2021 Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia. Peace ambassadors are our students whose lives exemplify the ideals of living for the benefit of others and are dedicated to the promotion of universal moral values, strong family life, interfaith cooperation, international harmony, and are responsible for establishing a global culture of peace in line with the thrust of our university. And now, let us start the ball rolling. May I introduce to you our grading mechanics. Each of the judges will score the candidates, 10 being the highest and 7 being the lowest. The judges will have an option, though, to give decimal points. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome back our candidates for the casual wear competition. At this time, it is my honor to present to you our Board of Judges. First, a celebrity in the Philippine entertainment industry who has a number of movies and television projects and was crowned as the very first Mrs. Noble Queen of the Universe 2019, Miss Patricia Diaz. Next, we have the Chief Creative Designer of Jovan de la Cruz Haute Couture, who dresses up numbers of celebrities and fashion models in the country, Mr. Jovan de la Cruz. Lastly, the Executive Producer of GMA7's longest-running environment program, Born to be Wild, that builds peace culture through nature and wildlife conservation, Miss Rochelle Figueroa. This moment, we will present our very special awards for tonight. Starting off with Beloved of the Production Staff. A candidate who is cooperative on the instructions of the production staff receives the award. Beloved of the Press. A candidate who impresses the members of the press during preliminary part of the competition receives the award. Beloved in social networking. A candidate whose presence in the social media makes a creative and critical thinking on peace receives the award. Beloved of friendship. A candidate who shows sportsmanship and works in the spirit of teamwork and was voted by fellow candidates receives the award. Beloved for photogenic. A candidate who registers extraordinarily in print materials of the pageant receives the award. Beloved for telegenic. A candidate who registers extraordinarily in all video materials of the pageant receives the award. Beloved for techno performance. A candidate who presented the tape material in an orderly and digitally prepared mode receives the award. Beloved for physique. A candidate who shows body proportion and dresses to impress all pageant appearances receives the award. Beloved of the crowd. A candidate who has the most number of supporters in their personal profile receives the award. Beloved for peace culture. A candidate whose advocacy for the peace is present even before the pageant and contributed to the betterment of the university receives the award. Best in production number. A candidate who is impressive to our judges in the opening number receives the award. And this very special award will be presented by Miss Patricia Javier.
For this year, Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia, we are very honored to give this award, Doc Rob Health and Wellness Ambassador 2021.
At this point, we will present the minor awards, starting off with Beloved for Peace Education Advocacy. Earlier in the show tonight, a separate panel of judges have viewed all of our contestants in a preliminary competition. A moving statement on peace by the candidates received the award. And for the male category, Joseph Anton Banyas from the College of Arts, Sciences, and Education. And for the female category, Bea Bianca Racelis, Senior High School. Best in Casual Wear. For the male category, Raijem Raj Obsum, Junior High School. And for the female category, Bea Bianca Racelis, Senior High School. Best Informal Wear and Evening Gown. The best informal wear goes to Raijem Raj Obsum, Junior High School. And the evening gown competition goes to Patricia Misenas, College of Arts, Science, and Education. Now, we will reveal our top 3 male and female candidates. In determining the top 3 candidates, the scores from peace statement, casual wear, and formal wear and evening gown were put together. The top 3 for each category advances in the final interview. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck. In no particular order, our top 3 for male category, Joseph Anton Banyas, College of Arts, Science, and Education. Raijem Raj Obsum, Junior High School. Edwin Baradas Jr., St. Luke's College of Nursing. In no particular order, our top 3 female category. The first is Sarah Richard John Aloys, College of Engineering and Information Sciences. Next, Patricia Misenas, College of Arts, Science, and Education. And last but not the least, Bea Bianca Racelis, Senior High School. The male and female finalists will have a different set of questions. The male finalist will only have one question. We have one question too for the female finalists. The questions were chosen by the organizers from the questions drafted by our Peace Education Committee earlier. All of our finalists are virtually isolated to prevent them from hearing the questions. Let's begin with the finalists. Joseph Anton Banyas, College of Arts, Sciences and Education. Here is the question. Expenditure on military across the world is year by year increasing too much. Will all these expenses create costs?
My opinion on this, as the bigger countries, the superpowers we know to be like America, Russia, China, right, Korea even, they are increasing their expenditures, their budget, their yearly budget on military expenses. And in my opinion, I believe that this isn't the way to be doing this, because there are so many other problems that could be solved using this type of money. There is still the lack of education for everybody, or the hunger and starvation for people that can't eat further every day, or job employment even. So these military expenditures, I do not think is the best way to be spending all this money. If these people are talking peace, then why do they build machines of war, right? It's very hypocritical to a sense that if we want to be at peace with everybody, I think laying our axes down, our guns down, and funding things that will forward us as a whole, as a society, not as countries or boundaries, but as one human race. I think that's the best way we can be doing about this. So the answer to your question is no. These military expenditures, the increase in budget, is not a good way to be spending money.
And next is Raijim Raj Absum, Junior High School. Expenditure on military across the world is year by year increasing too much. Will all these expenses create good costs?
I believe po na opo, may malaki po siyang cost. Especially po kung teachers na ito mapupunta po sa salary ng mga sundalo na nagsasakripisyo po ng mga buhay po nila. At ginagamit rin po itong expenditures na ito para protektahan po ang mga bansa sa mga gusto pong sumakop at gusto pong gumawa ng gulo sa kanilang bansa. Thank you po.
Next, Edwin Baradas Jr., St. Luke's College of Nursing. And here's the question. Expenditure on military across the world is year by year increasing too much. Will all these expenses create good costs?
I don't think that increased military expenditure will yield a good cause. I truly believe that conflict and tension arises when there's a lack of communication between parties. Now, most would say that it's not feasible to de-escalate a situation fueled by hatred and greed. But when we talk about how this can be remedied, I only see like one situation. And that situation starts with us. There's a very famous quote by Nelson Mandela once said, "It only seems impossible until it's done." So oftentimes we're tormented by the thoughts of like, what can I do? I'm only a person, like I'm a student. What am I supposed to do? But the likes of leaders and peace ambassadors that we all know seem to be lofty, seem to be impossible to achieve. However, those people are just people like us. They breathe the same blood, breathe the same air, eat the same food. So if they have the capability to do what they've done to impact lives, then we should also have that capability as well. It comes from within. So hopefully one day we may pass the light of love and understanding into the dark world and hopefully bring forth a peaceful and bright tomorrow.
Let's continue with the female finalists. Starting off with Sarah Richard John Alois, College of Engineering and Information Sciences. Here's your question. The Philippine anti-terrorism law forwards a strong concern. Are peace education efforts lost?
For as long as I have been here in the Philippines for 1.5 years now. From what I've observed is that peace education is not lost. In fact, educational institutions are more aware and concerned about the social political issues that are going on. Thank you.
Next is Patricia Misenas from College of Arts, Science, and Education. Here's your question. The Philippine anti-terrorism law forwards a strong concern. Are peace education efforts lost?
A lot of Filipinos are apprehensive to the anti-terror bill because anti-terror bill might cause danger or threat to the human rights of the Filipinos, which our country is not foreign to. However, the fight against terrorism requires vigilance and attention for protection and safety matter. And I believe that peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of freedom of speech, fair, just, and humane society. If we could give rise back to a humane society in which we could stop the authority and the power of our government officials, then we could have a peace in our nation. Thank you.
Last but not least, Bea Bianca Racelis from Senior High School. Here's your question. The Philippine anti-terror forwards a strong concern. Are peace education efforts lost?
The anti-terrorism bill is poised to cause more terror for a greatly at peace. As an advocate, I do believe that our efforts aren't lost and nothing can stop us Filipinos from spreading peace in the world. For me, the best way to acquire peace is through deep understanding, respect for ourselves and the people around us, work as a team because peace cannot be done in just a day. As a peacekeeper, I do believe that instances like these will never stop us from spreading peace into this world. That will be all.
That concludes our final interview. In just a short while, we will crown our winners. Let's thank our KP Trinity University of Asia, the Dean of the Office of Student Affairs, Dr. Marlon Gomez, Vice Chair of the 58th Founding University Celebration, and the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and Education, Dr. Howell Ho, Chair of the 58th Founding University Celebration and the Dean of College of Hospitality and Tourism Management, Dr. Fernando Trinidad, Chair for Peace Advocacy Program of the Search for 2021 Peace Education Ambassadors from the Media and Communication Department, Attorney Pura Meriver Saki, Chair of Personality Development Program of 2021 Peace Education Ambassadors from the Media and Communication Department, Dr. Walter Udelmo. Mr. Francis Brian Imperial, University Student Council Governor, will now deliver a peace education.
Greetings in Trinitian spirit. Trinity University of Asia is a peaceful academic institution. Our utmost priority as students is to make sure that each of us has the creative and critical thinking for us to resolve conflicts peacefully. Students work together to create a peaceful learning environment in which every one of us can focus on ourselves. Over, we commit to be safe and identify in taking emotional and personal risks necessary for learning. Therefore, view conflict as an opportunity for education, growth, and positive change. In reality, we build a culture of peace by supporting each other in our academic and non-academic requirements, and appreciating the teaching strategies of our teachers that translates to resolving interpersonal conflicts. Indeed, our university, Trinity University of Asia, strive hard to make us learners to leaders, a person for others. Thank you very much, and good evening.
Our winners will receive the following from the university: sash, certificate, trophy, and crowns for the Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia. Last year, Mr. George Allen Peters of the College of Engineering and Information Sciences and Miss Abigail Tan of the High School were crowned as the 2020 Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia, respectively. Let's welcome them back as they bid farewell to all of us.
It has been a year now since I was crowned Mr. Trinity University of Asia Peace Education Ambassador of 2020. I remember how I cried that day, being overwhelmed with joy. The experience was fun, educative, and entertaining, but most of all, it showcased my talent and allowed me to know that I am possessed with greater potential than I was aware of. As I'm turning over to you, I want to take this opportunity to make a proposal to the pageant committee. We have talked about it and we're planning to send out a written communication. But unfortunately, because we were hit with this deadline, I'm hereby pleading with the committee to implement giving a prize or prizes to our next and new Mr. and Miss TUS. Suggested prizes may include possible help with tuition of maybe 50 or 100%, sponsored travel, dinners, visits to historical or educational sites, or some student projects wherein these students are given the privilege to give back to their institution. We who are retiring in Crown were not given such prizes or opportunities, but we are making a plea that this happens for our next Mr. and Miss TUS and those in the future. Having been chosen and crowned Mr. TUA was indeed one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I pray that Corona will pass soon and we can all see each other again. With love, stay safe, God bless. Josh Allen Peters, Mr. TUA 2020.
The moment I knew that I will be representing the senior high school department, I instantly thought that it's a big role to fill in. But instead of embracing that pressure, I decided to turn that into a powerful motivation. A journey isn't complete without crossing over obstacles and challenges. I've experienced to face hurdles, but looking back at my time at Mr. and Miss TUA Senior High School, I had learned how to conquer other people's opinions and perspectives about me. But during my time here at Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia, I had to battle with my own self. Competing as the second youngest among the different colleges was one I thought was a disadvantage. I thought of everyone as strong contenders, so I was stuck at underestimating my own capabilities. My confidence pulled me down instead of pushing me beyond what I could do. That is why thank you to all those people who became one of the reasons why I got through every challenge. Thank you to my family, friends, handler Mama Son, makeup artists Carl Ramos and Antonio Asuncion, Ma'am Rosary Killing, Ma'am Angeline Tesorero, the senior high school department, and to the entire family of SLC, especially to Moira Pricones and Sam Manawag. And of course, to Shekinah Palomares, I don't think my words would be enough to express how truly grateful I am to you for being my backbone of support and guidance that I got through every hurdle along the journey. To all the candidates and finalists, congratulations. I hope defeat will not push you back from following and reaching your dreams. Instead, learn from it and rise again. And of course, to my dearest successor, congratulations. My only advice would be that this crown only represents a title, but the experience is the worthiest prize you will receive. Once again, I am Abigail Tan, your Miss Trinity University of Asia Peace Ambassadors 2020.
Now is the time to reveal the winners, beginning with the second runners-up, then the first runners-up, and our newly crowned Peace Ambassadors. So let's begin with the male finalists to be followed by female finalists. I hope your bet is my bet too. Wow. Who will it be? Ladies and gentlemen, our second runner-up for the male category, Ryjem Raj of Zoom Junior High School. Our first runner-up, Joseph Anton Banyas, College of Arts, Sciences, and Education. Wow. Our 2021 Mr. Trinity University of Asia, Mr. Edwin Barradas Jr., St. Luke's College of Nursing. Now let's move on to our female category. Our second runner-up, Sarah Richard John Alois, College of Engineering and Information Science. Our first runner-up, Bella Bianca Raceli, Senior High School. And our 2021 Miss Trinity University of Asia, Patricia Miseras, College of Arts, Science, and Education. Congratulations! Congratulations to all the winners. It's been a fantastic night. See you again next year for the 2022 Mr. and Miss Trinity University of Asia Search for the Peace Education Ambassadors. This is John Knight signing off.